going to show you how to design a button for your Canvas classroom. So if you are familiar with Canvas, you know kind of what I'm talking about. If you are not familiar with Canvas, let me go ahead and open up one of my classes so that you can see. So right now I'm on my Canvas dashboard. I'm just going to click on my language arts class. I have multiple classes because I teach multiple subjects. So I went ahead and I clicked on my language arts class, and this is my landing page or my home page that I have created for my Canvas class. I'm not going to go into how to create this today. I'm just going to go into how to create all these buttons. So the buttons are any of the images that you have on your Canvas page that link you to other things. And I'm still working on mine, so not all of mine are linked to a separate page right now. If you have a typical Canvas course and you have not added buttons, your course is going to look different. You're not going to have any pictures. Your students are going to see this information, whatever information you've put in there. If you've got modules set up or pages, things that you've published for them to see, it's going to be just in a list view for them. I like the button option because I think it's much clearer, it's more concise, it's easy to use for all students, not just the younger students. So I've been playing around with adding buttons and creating them. So like I mentioned very quickly, the button is a tool to make things easier for the students. So there's no hesitation or misunderstanding about where they are supposed to go to access information. My students will know on the first day of school, they're going to come and they're going to click this button once I turn it into a button because it says, click here, first day of school. That's where I want them to go to get started. I don't mind if they click on all these other things, but I want them to go to that button first. If my parents have questions, they can come to the parent resources and I can click on this button and show you what it does. So my parent resources is a page and I've linked this button to this page. So when my parents click on that button or my students click on that button, they're going to see how they can get help with assignments. They're going to have this information on helping their child succeed in Canvas. And I've gone ahead and I've put specific links in here so that parents have the guides for how to use Canvas. They have the information for how to sign up for an observer account for Canvas, where they can see what their students are doing and what I am teaching in the classroom. There are student guides, so if their child is having problems navigating through Canvas, if I have not been clear enough about something, they can come to the student guide and they can click here. What to do if their child has missed class, about the EOGs. I can add any other information to this page so that my parents have that resource for them. So let's get started on making the button. I'm going to go back to my homepage so that you can just see what I'm talking about. All of these, except for my banner, will be buttons that my kids will be able to click on and access different links. So it's not just a set of different assignments and things for them to do. They'll know on Monday, they click on Monday. Tuesday, to get their work, they click on Tuesday. Now, as the year goes on, I may change out some of these buttons. So I may change them to different things if I need to, or add additional buttons. So how do you create the buttons? That's the big thing. To create the buttons, you can do them in lots of different ways. You can use Google Slides. You can use Keynote. You can use PowerPoint to create buttons. I like to use a website called Canva. And I know it sounds very similar to Canvas, but it's different. So I go to canva.com, and here's the web address. And I really like Canva because you can use it for a lot of different templates. There is a free version to Canva, and then there is a pro version. A lot of the resources and templates and things that Canva offers, they offer many, many free versions. So it's great for that. I've had my students make virtual posters, and it'll tell you what size it is. So like if you actually printed it out, the posters would be 18 by 24 inches. If I wanted to make a Facebook cover for a group that I was in, or for my classroom, or for something else, they even have like a Facebook covers. There's all different templates. And the reason that they have all these different templates, there's ID cards, there's postcards, calendars, business cards. The reason that they have them all is because they're already oriented by size for you. So if I make a business card, if I design a business card, when I print it out, it's already going to be the correct size that I need. I don't need to adjust the size. I don't need to do anything. It's already done for me. So to make a Canva button to use in my Canvas classroom, I am going to come down here and click on logo. And when I click on logo, it gives me the preset size for my button, and it shows up as a template page. I don't really use the template page because I'm not really designing a logo. I'm designing a button for my Canvas class. There's a few different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you the easiest way first. The easiest way to do this is to click on background over on the left-hand toolbar. So I'm going to click on background, and I am going to find a background that will make my text easy to read, so it doesn't have a whole lot going on with it, and it's not going to hurt the eyes. So I'm just going to click on this bluish green one. This one is kind of multicolored, an ombre blue. That's kind of neat. So now I've got my background. All I did was click on it. If I wanted to change it, if I decided, oh, I really don't like that, I can click on another one. I clicked on this one. Now my background is a brick wall background. So all you have to do to change your options is just click on the different pictures that they have. Now that I have my background and I'm on my button template, I need to add some text. So along the left-hand side on my toolbar, again, I'm going to click on the text button. And when I do this, I can click on different kind of pre-sizes that they have available. The easiest way is to go ahead and click on add a heading, and then just type, make sure your words are highlighted, and type. So let's say I was making a new button for my Zoom room. I didn't like the one that was there. I am going to type Zoom room. I'm going to make it a little bit larger, so I'm just extending out the sides of my text box, and I've got Zoom room in there. If I'm not a big fan of the font, all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that font, and I've got an additional toolbar up at the top. I can change the font. I like this one right here. You'll see that if something is going to cost money, it's got a little crown next to it. The font choices, the text choices are a little bit deceiving. As you scroll through, it seems like there's a lot that you have to pay for, and they're in alphabetical order. So when you get to the bottom, it seems like, oh, you really don't have a whole lot of choices. But it's deceiving. It begins again in alphabetical order. So there end up being, I don't know, hundreds of different fonts. I've never even scrolled all the way down to the bottom. So I like this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it automatically changes this font, the text box for me. So I can change the size. One of the other deceiving things about Canva is that as you scroll down, it seems like the biggest size that you can use is 144. That's really small. So there's a couple different ways you can get around that. I showed you one before where you can just extend your text box and you can make it bigger. Or you can highlight your text and just like in a Pages or Google Slide or a Word document, you can type in the number. Let's say I want the font size to be 400, and there I go. My font size is 400. Now this is obviously too big, so I need to move it so that it is centered, and it's kind of centered. Now that I have that, I'm done. I have a button. The only thing I have to do is download it to my computer. I like to save my buttons as the name of what they actually are, so they're easier for me to find. So I'm going to put this in as Zoom Room, and I'm going to download it. Canva suggests using a PNG for your file type, and I would suggest doing that for Canvas also. PNG is going to be the easiest file type for you to use for this. You'll notice with the paid versions of Canva, you can get a transparent background, you can compress the file size. There are other ways around that without paying for the pro version that I'll show you. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. It prepares my design. It is always going to pop up with the Try Canva free, and I'm going to click the exit button so that I don't have it. And my button is here downloaded on my computer. You can save this to your computer. So if I want to save it, I'm just going to hit File, Save As, or I can come over here and save it to a specific place. If I want it on my desktop, it'll be on my desktop, so I have it there. I typically just have it saved to my documents or my downloads, whatever, and add it into Canvas that way. So that's the first way to create a button. The second way, I'm going to use the same background, but I really didn't like any of the font choices that I had. So I'm going to create another one for Zoom Room. And I accidentally changed my background, so let's make a different one. Let's spice it up a little bit. Maybe I want the stars in the sky for my button background. Okay, so now that I've got my background, I need to add my text again. So below where it has what kind of text you can add, and a heading, a subheading, a body of text, there are font combinations that you can use that are already done for you. And this is great if you find one that you really like. So for example, and it'll show you again if it's the pro version that you have to pay for, it'll have the little crown on it. Typically, the cuter ones are the ones that you got to pay for. But let's say I wanted to use this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And again, it puts it right into the middle of my logo for me. It is centered on my page, but I don't want it to say goal getter. I am making a button for my Zoom Room so that my students can just click on my Zoom Room button and it brings them to my Zoom meetings, the link that they'll have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this and highlight my text, and you'll notice since there are two different fonts and colors and sizes used, that when I clicked on one of them, I only have access to one of them. So I have to do each one. So I want this to say room, and I want goal now to be Zoom. Okay, so I just went ahead and I changed the text. I can click off of that, and again, I can make it bigger in different ways. I can just extend my text box. I could change the font size in the toolbar at the top. Another thing that I can do, if I really like the color choices and I like the way that this looks, but I'm not really a fan of this Zoom text box back here, I can highlight the text and I can go find a text that I like better. So let's say I click on Chewy. It's going to keep the same outline form, but it is going to change the font for me. So I think I like this one. I'm going to keep it like that. And when I click off, it'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so let's say I am happy with this button. I'm going to go ahead and download it. And I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to hit download. I'm keeping everything the same. And it is going to save it, again, to my documents or to my desktop, wherever I have it, with this name. Okay, so if I have not changed this name right here, it's still going to be the same and save it as the same document. So let's say that I really like the buttons, but I really want to add a picture. So I really like this button for Zoom Room, but I want to add a picture. I can go to Photos on the left-hand toolbar, and I can type in, I'm just going to type in Zoom and see what happens. Oh, well, there are some cool pictures. So some of them are the Pro version, and I'm not really seeing anything that would show my kids what my Zoom Room is. So let me try video chat. Oh, here we go. So let's say that I wanted to include this picture. I'm just going to click on it, and this is my Zoom Room. This is where we video chat. I'm just going to adjust the size, how big I would like it, how small I would like it, and add it to my button. So if I'm happy with this, I now have my text, I've got my button size background, and I have got a picture added. Great for younger students. I'm going to download it in the same way. Download it. It's preparing my design, and I'm good to go. Now, there is another option that you can use when you are creating buttons. So let me go ahead, and I'm just going to delete all this stuff. And I'm going to show you another option. So when we come into Canva, the logo is a square logo. If I want to change what that looks like, I had circular buttons in Canva, I can come over to my elements. And when I come over to my elements, I'm given different pictures and things like that, but there's also some like solid shapes and things that I can use. I really like the gradient ones, and oh, here's a good one. So I like this gradient one. I'm just going to click on that, and it is going to insert into my template. I'm going to make it larger because I want it to fill up as much space as possible with my circle. Okay, so now I have got my circle, and my circle is going to end up being my button. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to make this very simple. I'm going to put my text. So I'm just clicking on this. I'm going to have it be, we'll make it Zoom Room again. room. Make this zoom. Stretch it out just a little bit so that it fits, and then I'm going to center it up. So I'm just going to slide it over and center it up, and I am going to download this as Zoom Room. Now, you can put this directly into your Canvas classroom, and the white will stay white. It's the background. This is still a square picture. If for some reason you are trying to use a button in something and you don't want that white background, I'm going to show you a really easy way to remove it. So you're going to go to remove.bg, and remove.bg removes the background image from any images. So like I could literally go to Google if I wanted, let's say German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd, so I want to include a German Shepherd on my All About Me page, and I want to put this one right here. I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to go to remove.bg, and to paste it, I'm just going to hit Control V, and it goes ahead and it works, and it removes the background for me. If I am happy with this, I'm just going to download it, and then I have just the outline of the German Shepherd. The background is going to be blank, okay? I don't really need this right now, so I'm just going to go back to this little home screen. So I went ahead and I created my button, and I want to get rid of that white background behind it because I might use it in an instance where I have a dark background and I don't want it to look like a square. I want it to look like a circle. So I'm going to upload an image, and mine is named as Zoom Room. So I am just going to type it in as Zoom Room. And remember, I had a couple different ones. So I'm going to search on my Mac, and I'm going to see which one. Here it is, this one, Zoom Room. So my circular button that I wanted to create. I'm going to open it, and it is going to remove that background for me. And now all I have to do is download it. So I'm just going to hit download, and it downloads it automatically as a PNG file for me. Here is my button. If you would like more information on making buttons, you can email me or send me a message. And I think there are some pre-recorded or websites that you can find information on actually adding the buttons to your Canvas. But if you'd like, I can go ahead and make a tutorial for that. So that is all. I hope it wasn't too long, and have a great day.